Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, it's time to start getting real. Again, a reunion some 30 years in the making. The original cast of The Real World is back together. Then, she covered every single day and detail of the Woody Allen-Mia Farrow scandal in the early 90s. Now an HBO documentary is shining a new light on the case. Fox icon Rosanna Scotto joins us live with her insight. And what's your sign? Psychic Maria Shaw returns with a preview of what the rest of the year could bring you in life, love, and luck. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Jason Show. We are live from our studios in the Twin Cities. I'm Jace. Thank you so much for being here. Please welcome my sidekick sister from another mister, and she works in the paint department at Sears on her days off. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Kendall Mark, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning.
I didn't know Sears had a paint department.
Oh, they do. There are different sides of Sears. There's the softer side of Sears. They sold tools, and my friend Christine Fisk, part of my high school 4. There were 5, but we vanquished one of them. But the high school 4, she worked in the paint department all through high school. And I worked at the pet store. So I would run over there and go see her. I never bought paint, but, you know, that was my girl.
Did she ever buy a pet?
She did.
She did?
She bought a lizard from me.
Where was the mutual love there then? You can't buy paint, but she'll buy a pet.
I was a teenager. I wasn't painting anything. I didn't need to paint. Yeah.
I suppose.
Hey, I'm going to start off the show on a little bit of a sad note. We'll turn things around. But I want to talk for a minute about a special viewer and a special listener that we lost yesterday. If you watch the show or if you've been with me on the radio show for a while, you know about Sandy. Well, she started out as Sandy 72. But Sandy was a delightful woman that started listening to my radio show, my very first one, in 2006. My first radio show was called The Saturday Night Groove, and it aired 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. on Saturday nights. And on My Talk, and it was designed to get you ready to go out. So we always found it charming that this 72-year-old would listen to our show, and that's how it started. She'd call in, and I said to her one time, I go, I was raised right. You don't ask a woman her age, but I gotta ask you, how old are you? And she goes, I'm 72, and I just thought she was delightful, and then she just became a regular. And then she followed me everywhere that I went. When I started doing the news, she watched our news. And then when we started the Jason Show 6 years ago, Sandy and her son Lauren would come into the audience 5-6 times a year. And I would always set Sandy in the front row. And sometimes I would come out after the open and walk right over and give her a kiss. And I loved her. She always matched her outfits, always one color. The ribbon matched the blouse, which matched the pants. She was on point, girl. Mm-hmm. Well, I got horrible news yesterday. Her son Lauren sent me a message, and Sandy passed away yesterday at 4:30 p.m. After a health battle over the non-COVID related over the summer. Sandy was Sandy 85, if we're doing the math correctly, and she was just delightful and was one of those viewers, friends that stuck with us, stuck with me through everything, and I don't take those folks for granted, and I certainly didn't take Sandy for granted. I loved her. You know, I lost my grandma when I moved here, so I don't really have a grandma, and so I get a connection to women that remind me of my grandma, and that was the delightful Sandy. So to Lauren and Sandy's family, I just say I love you and God bless you. And from now on, when we go back to a normal show, when we have an audience, and when I come out of there, and I will always look at that front row, and I will think of Sandy 85. So yeah, there we go. Let's get started, everybody. It is time for the hot dish. Roll it. Okay. It is officially official. Did I say it enough, I think?
I think so.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers is engaged, everybody. It's real. It's happening. He announced the news earlier this month when he accepted the NFL's MVP award, but many sports fans didn't know if he was actually being serious. Well, last night on Jimmy Fallon, his alleged fiance, Shailene Woodley, addressed the news. Let's look at this.
I keep reading that you are engaged to football great Aaron Rodgers. And is that true? Are congratulations in order?
I mean, I've been reading that too, which is it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yes, we are engaged. We are engaged. But for us, it's not new news, you know? So it's kind of funny. Everybody right now is freaking out over it. And we're like, yeah, we've been engaged for a while.
I love that.
Yeah, we got engaged a while ago, and he's first off just a wonderful, incredible human being. But I never thought I'd be engaged with somebody who threw balls for a living. Like I never thought as a little girl, I was like, yeah, when I grow up, I'm gonna marry someone who throws balls. Yeah. But he's really just.
Nope. She says they met this season and hasn't been to a game yet. Aaron will begin hosting a 10-show stint on Jeopardy starting in April. So, congratulations.
It's a real thing. I was just looking at it because I was curious, and I know that age differences in relationships, whatever. But I think that is something that people assume she's pretty young. She looks really young, and he's been around forever, so you assume he's older than he is. Not a massive age difference, 29 and 37. In case anyone else was wondering, I was.
Oh, really? That's what it is?
Yeah, I was just curious because she just has a very youthful face.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I get curious about that stuff. But
Yeah.
yes, congratulations to them. That's sweet.
That's not, pish posh, please.
Whatever. I know that you don't care. I just was
care.
really curious.
I mean, anyway, but that's good. But if I'm being honest, it's still, I think it's because we didn't know about it. And I love that they kept it private. I just can't see them together. And I don't know why. Maybe when we see their first picture together, right, audience? I don't know.
I think she's really chill and like woodsy and earthy and cool, and I love her. And I think that that's something he's attracted to after being with several women that are a little more glam.
Not earthy.
Maybe a little more glamorous. I don't know. Maybe he's found that that's what he wants.
Yeah.
And as soon as he found it, he was like, mine.
Because every relationship teaches you things.
Yes.
Every one of them, even the ones that are an utter failure. Mm-hmm. There's something to learn.
Something to learn.
That's right. There's your Oprah moment of the day. There's my Oprah mug. Next in the dish, Bachelor Matt James came out with a lengthy and blistering, I love that word, blistering statement last night about Chris Harrison and the show's history with racism. He wrote, "The past weeks have been some of the most challenging of my life. It is important that I take the time to address the troubling information that has come to light since we wrapped, including the incredibly disappointing photos of Rachel and the interview between Rachel Lindsay, another Rachel, and Chris Harrison. I'm learning about these situations in real time, and it has been devastating and heartbreaking, to put it bluntly." He says this has all forced him to reevaluate and process his experience on The Bachelor, and says he will say more in the end. Well, it's a twofer. That leads me to believe, and Ted will be up with The Bachelor later, that leads me to believe my prediction, he picked Rachel. Mm-hmm. And so I feel awful. Can you imagine you fall in love with somebody, no matter how oddly you do it. You fall in love with someone and then you find out some information about them that's scandalous or goes against your beliefs, whatever the case may be, ... And then the show you're on is embroiled in a similar controversy about the same topic, racism. And you are a black man. A little hard to wrap. Devastating is a good word for the gentleman.
Rachel Lindsay, who did the interview with Chris Harrison, has talked pretty openly as she can, about being the first black bachelorette and how much pressure there was for her on just so many levels of the spectrum with that role. And he obviously has that as well, being the first black bachelor. And now with all of this coming out right now, and we know how contracts work. There's not a lot he can say.
No.
So I think people were really waiting to hear what he had to say. And I think he did a good job of succinctly voicing what he thought.
And also, look, you don't need to be on The Bachelor. You don't need to be involved in it. I've been making fun of it for years.
Right.
Hello, you waited till 2022. How many cycles? Ted, how many cycles is this? 25 cycles?
It's
and
a
out
lot.
of 25 cycles, there's one black man? What?
And that's just the men. There's been like 13 or 14 female cycles too. So it's disappointing.
It's very clear. Next in the dish, can you get the phone? I learned how to re-say that during the meeting today. 4 original members of The Real World sat down with Andy Cohen. It's been nearly 30 years since they lived in a loft together in New York City and really, really changed/created reality TV. Here's a clip of the reunion.
If the real world didn't happen and my life didn't go the way that it did, I might have been dead.
Well,
There were a lot of wounds that I was suppressing from my childhood, and I was on a self-destructive path. And I started using drugs at a young age. I was able to look at myself and see the things that I didn't like about myself that I wanted to change. So, yeah, in a way, the real world kind of saved my life.
wow. That's big.
You was doing drugs in the house?
Not in the house.
Not,
No, not in the house.
Not inside the house.
No, the reason why I wasn't in the house is because remember I was going up to Lenox Hill to work with those kids?
Yeah, I remember the kids.
Yeah, because I was on probation and I had to get drug tested.
Oh.
What do you think you were?
That's just one of the moments. That's Eric Nees, who also hosted The Grind, along with Heather B., Norman, and Julie. For Real, the story of reality TV, including the Real World Reunion, premieres on E! Tomorrow night. Eric Nees, let me give you youngin' some perspective. He was the bee's knees. Like he was in the same era when Marky Mark was in the Funky Bunch. I had 2 workout VHS tapes in my life. Marky Mark, I had 3. Marky Mark, Eric Nees, and Jane Fonda's. And I didn't work out to any of them.
Just watched.
They were strictly for viewing. And Eric Nees was, he was a big thing. He was like a teen heartthrob. But yeah.
I mean, this was all before my real world time.
Yeah.
But I still remember the impact Road Rules and Real World had on just watching it when I was not supposed to be watching it. But I mean, just the chemistry between people and the not so much chemistry between people, it was fascinating. So I can only imagine when it first came out, what it was like.
We wouldn't have the shows. Ted wouldn't be able to watch The Bachelor without Eric Nees. You know what I mean? There wouldn't be. And by the way, the original cast is going back to New York for another Real World season on Paramount Plus.
No, they're not.
Yeah, the exact cast is going back to New York and living together again. I think it's called Real World Together Again.
Why would you do that?
I know. I would. Lots more to come, everybody. Stay right there. Back after this. Coming up, she scored the first interview with Mia Farrow in the early 90s, and now with that HBO documentary, there's new interest in the Woody Allen-Mia Farrow case. Fox icon Rosanna Scotto will join us live. Then, she has the answers. Psychic Maria Shaw returns with a look ahead at the rest of 2021 and when you should absolutely not get married. And producer Ted has his breakdown of this week's uber-dramatic Nutter Butters, The Bachelor. That's all when we come back.
This is the story of 2 of the biggest stars in the world.
The father is Woody Allen, writer, director, actor. The mother is Mia Farrow, his co-star and mother of his 3 children.
Say hi. Hi.
My family was really close.
It was an amazing childhood. But no matter what you think you know, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
That is a clip from the trailer for the new documentary series on HBO, looking back at the case of sexual abuse allegations made against Woody Allen. Episode 1 premiered Sunday night on HBO. I watched it. I'll give my opinion a little bit later. The case became front page news nearly 30 years ago. And at the time, from our sister station, Fox's Good Day New York, anchor, well, let me be clear. She is an institution. She is an icon. There isn't New York television without her. Rosanna Scotto interviewed Mia Farrow. Take a look at this.
Would you have ever dated Woody Allen?
Can you ask that question? Of course not. I regret the day I met him. And in the middle of the night, I wake up and feel guilty for bringing him into my family, where we, all of us, the children and I, trusted him absolutely. I trusted him with all of my children.
Rosanna covered the story every single day for an entire year in 1992. Please welcome to our show the icon herself, Good Day New York anchor, Rosanna Scotto. Hi, Rosanna.
Jason, that introduction is way too generous. I appreciate
No.
it. I don't know what, I think I should just leave right now. I don't know how I could top that.
No, and we're obviously talking about a serious topic, but it's not. But it's the truth. If you're not there, they need to shut down New York TV. But we'll get to that in just a little bit. Let me start now, and we'll work our way backwards. What do you think this 4-parter is going to do, Rosanna? Do you think What do you hope it accomplishes, and what are you feeling about it?
You know what? A lot of people think that this will be the end of Woody Allen's career. And then I've talked to some other people in the TV business and then the film business, and they say, hey, look, he just put out a new movie on Amazon. It made $22 million worldwide. Nothing is stopping him. But I think maybe, Mia Farrow's family is hoping that those A-list actresses that never thought twice about working with Woody Allen, that maybe they'll think about it now. I think that this movie, this documentary, it's 4 parts. The first part, you said you saw last night.
Yeah.
It really establishes the family life. Woody had always said, oh, Mia had her own apartment. I had my own apartment. She had 11 kids. I wasn't really part of it. But when you see the first episode, he was very much entrenched in their life.
Yes. Yes. Well, now let's go back. As I said, and it's not hyperbole, you owned the story every single day of your life. You had countless scoops. And then that interview that we just showed with Mia, how did that come to be, Rosanna?
Well, it started, Jason, because, we had covered the custody battle. And then one day, an independent source came to Fox 5 and gave us the tape of Dylan Farrow, where she alleges that Woody Allen touched her inappropriately and promised to take her to Paris if she allowed it. We never put it on the air, but it kind of catapulted us into this custody battle where, Mia Farrow's people were calling us, Woody Allen's people were calling us, judges, lawyers, you name it. At that time, the fax machine was just, on perpetual, faxes for me to stop me from doing my next story. We never put that tape on TV, obviously, because it was a 7-year-old girl saying that she was sexually abused. But now, in this documentary, you're going to see it because apparently Dylan Farrow has given permission to show that tape. So once we had that tape, we were like in a different echelon now.
Yeah, yep.
Everybody was calling us with scoops, and we had to, I had a producer, and he and I, Mark Bozak and I, we went out there and we were trying to make sure which ones were credible, which ones weren't. But every day for a year, we had new insight on this case.
Rosanna, what was it like sitting across from Mia? I mean, you're a legend. You've done countless interviews. Sitting across from this woman who not only is worried about her daughter, her children, but is in the middle of young people have no concept. This story was everywhere. What was it like sitting across from her? What did you get from her?
Well, I felt that she was really honest and that she wanted to be the best mother she possibly can. She adopted like 11 or 12 kids, and these were not kids that, didn't have challenges. They all had challenges from all over the world. You know what kind of patience you need to have 11 or 12 kids with various problems? And she tried to make it a happy home. And I felt that she really wanted to, I really felt that she was being honest. It was funny. The day of the custody conclusion, when the judge gave Mia Farrow, awarded her custody, there was a press conference with Woody Allen, and he's at this big, long table, and I realized, there I am, I'm sitting 2 seats away. I was more afraid of Woody Allen because he was really angry with me because we tried to show both sides of the case, and sometimes not all the media was showing Mia's side. They were showing only his side.
Yeah.
I think now in this new world after Me Too, I think people are going to look back and see some of those interviews and just be kind of shocked.
Absolutely. We got to go, but I'll end how I began. You're the best. I'll say it again. Without you, there isn't New York television, and I feel very proud that you and I work for the same company. So thank you, Rosanna.
Thank you so much, and thank you. I can't wait to meet you and give you a hug after COVID, okay?
Yes. Oh, come on down. The great Rosanna Scotto, everybody. She's in the
Jason.
3rd episode, by the way, of Allen versus Farrow, available on HBO or HBO Max. And as she said, new episodes are released on Sunday. I don't want to get too maudlin, too sad. I was sad at the beginning, but I will tell you now because I think you should know. it is very difficult to watch. It is a viewer warning. It is very triggering. This is nothing new. I've said it before. I'm a person who was molested by 3 people. And so if you are like me, I would use caution watching this. It's probably one of the most difficult, it's not entertainment, one of the most difficult shows I've had to watch for that reason. So if it triggers you, please use caution, but it's so well done and it makes you just go, my goodness, how did this happen? How can you not believe this family? Because if they're lying, it's a lot of people lying. It's a lot of coordinated lying, and I just don't understand. And you got to believe that young lady. You got to believe the young lady. Okay, let's switch gears. More dish for you now. Tanea, thank you. Tanea Parisi. I'm trying to switch gears, and it's Tanea was on Kimmel last night. She stars in the new Disney Plus show WandaVision as Monica. Ooh, she had a bit. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you. She talked about her character's superpowers. Look at this.
Monica can absorb energy in the comics. That is what her superpower is. It is yet to be revealed just exactly what it is in the MCU. We get a taste of the fact that there is something that has changed, and we have to stay tuned to find out exactly how that will manifest itself. But in the comics, she can absorb all energy on the electromagnetic spectrum.
Do you go online every week and read what people are saying, the fans and the theories and all that crazy stuff?
I look at the stuff people tag me in on Instagram, but as far as like the theories and stuff, I don't have to go online because my mother sends me everything.
Oh, she does?
I mean, the Easter eggs, the theories. She's gotten out of control.
Really?
I adore her. I went back and rewatched episode 2, and yeah, she's going to be big in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She's also going to appear in Captain Marvel 2 next year.
Oh.
Yeah. This episode, I'm not going to say anything more. Something big happens to her as well.
Okay, I'm not, if it doesn't give anything away, what is her thing? Do we know
We don't
that?
know.
Oh, okay. We just know she has some thing.
She's a thing.
Okay.
And she's a big thing.
Oh.
And she's going to be a bigger thing in the second half of the Marvel stories. You know, we had the first half with the Avengers. She's going to be a big player in what we're going to be seeing in movies, in Marvel movies for the next few years. Yeah.
It's like the game Clue.
Exactly. Miss Scarlet in the conservatory with the lead pipe. Next in the dish, we're hearing from Mr. Big for the first time since it was reported he would not be returning for the Sex and the City reboot. On Instagram, Chris Noth answered fans' questions about whether he would come back or not. And he said, well, if page 6 says it, it must be true. No, that wasn't sarcasm. Back in 2017, he said he had no interest in reprising the role because he wants to tell other stories. But in another Instagram comment, he said, never believe the rags, the gossip rags.
Oh.
And my feeling is, and we got to go a break, here's the deal. I don't even know if the story's true. The writer's room was just put together like 3 weeks ago.
That's true.
The writer's room, I mean, look, I understand if the big narrative decisions have been made.
Right.
Sure, that's possible. But maybe they haven't decided if Big's coming back.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. You know what will come back? Our show. Because still ahead, psychic Maria Shaw will join us. If you plan on getting married this year, she has some dates you're going to want to avoid. But next, speaking of marriage, Matt's quest for love continues with hometown dates. How is this going to work? And the field narrows from 4 to 3. Producer Ted has a recap of The Bachelor when the Jason Show continues. Back in a moment.
I thought that it was fear initially, that I was just scared. But I think if I'm being honest with myself, it's more than that. And I think that it just comes down to the fact that I don't think that you're my person.
The easy thing to do when I was talking to Serena is run. And that's what I wanted to do, because that's what I've seen my whole life, is just to run from difficult conversations. But nothing gets resolved.
Well, at least they didn't put her in a minivan. Welcome back. Hometown Dates, bringing life into perspective for the 4 remaining women. And one of the frontrunners, Serena P., decided she needed to self-eliminate, sending Matt into the limo for a sad ride to the rose ceremony. Families entered the Bachelor bubble this week as Matt tries to narrow down who will be his lobster. And that means, once again, it's time for 78% of America loves Ted. Joining us, Ted. I mean, nothing's bipartisan anymore. I apologize.
Great poll numbers.
That's right. Biggest ever. Joining us now from Bachelor Nation headquarters is our producer, Ted Johnson. Ted, okay, so what happened with Serena P?
So you remember last week when Matt decided that she would be the perfect one for the tantric date.
A tantric yoga, if my memory's fresh. Yes.
Well, so he thought it was great. She thought that it was really weird. I sensed there was something off with them. So she goes to the hometown date, which is just the family members just come to the hotel. And she's like, I love him. And the sister was like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. And she was like, you're right, I don't. And then, basically. And then that's what that happened. And for the first time ever, the lead of the show had to take the sad limo ride back.
Oh, well, I mentioned the minivan, and I love a minivan. We were talking a couple weeks ago. ABC obviously ran out of money and put the contestants in a 1998 gray minivan. So,
Right.
I mean, at least they had the limo back.
Right. So they got the limo back for the short ride to the rose ceremony.
Okay, so obviously we're in the middle of a pandemic. So how are these hometown dates working?
So the family members must be quarantining for a while, and then the dater picks one activity to do from their hometown. So Michelle, she did a bike ride, and then then they meet up with her family as if it's their house. She's the local girl from Minnesota. Family, very delightful. Loved them. They're great. They should come on our show. But I don't know if he's totally into Michelle, but I like her. I think she has a good shot of being the Bachelorette.
And again, Ted's right. If Michelle's family's watching, please email us at the Jason Show Facebook page. That's right. You can have any segment you want.
Yes.
Okay, he went skydiving as well. Who did he go skydiving with?
So apparently this is what Rachel does in her hometown. I wasn't really sure about that. Like, how does this happen? But anyways, so Rachel's the problematic one, right? We've talked about that. She's the front runner, and she thought it would be a good idea to go skydiving. It didn't go so well, Leo.
Oh, we did it. We did it. Here comes Rachel. Rachel! Rachel!
Oh my
goodness.
Goodness. It's like he's on a date with Alex Kendall on a Vespa.
Yeah.
That's an old Fox 9 joke, but yes.
And we can laugh because everyone's okay.
Yeah. Oh my, that was like a sack of potatoes right there. My goodness, that poor young lady.
She's like, I've got so much dirt in my mouth.
Oh, now why did they do this, Ted? Poor Rachel.
Yeah, well, anyways, he says that moment of her crashing into the ground, he realized, he's like, I realized how much I'm falling for her.
Oh, okay.
And like the fact that I could have lost her right there. Like he thought she was gonna die or something, but he immediately goes to console her. She's like, he's the only one I would have wanted in that moment.
Okay. How about Bree before I vomit? What about Bree?
I like Bree. I love Bree. She's great. She's she quit her job at Facebook to be on the show, which probably was not a good idea.
No.
But I like her. I think he likes her. but not as much as Rachel.
Wah, wah.
So that's sad.
Okay, 30 seconds or so. You know, you're wrapping. You know the time. How do you think the rest of the season's going to go with all the controversy?
Well, so next week we've got the Women Tell All, where we're going to talk about Escort Gate and all that other stuff that was going on in the season. And, you know, Chris Harrison's going to be there, so it was before a lot of this other stuff went on. I think we're going to get down to Bree versus Rachel, and I think Rachel's going to be the one who wins. So, and then after that, who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Ted Johnson, everybody, from Bachelor headquarters. Thank you very much. Woo. Yeah, it's going to be interesting with the Rachel still ahead. We honor our fearless director, Leo, and the sport he loves so very much. Why are we doing this? You'll find out when we return. Back in a moment. I would guess if we do a survey, and maybe Fox eventually will, maybe one of the reasons you like the show is because we kind of have a cast of characters. We have a family here. We have, you know, the nutty executive producer, Jeff. We have charming single Ted. We have Evan, the floor director from, well, now he's back. He's gone. But, you know, anyway, we have a family here. And one of those family members is the subject of a running joke. And I'm talking about poking fun at our director, Leo, for his love of the wonderful sport, curling. In fact, I mention it quite a bit in our Facebook show called The Jason Show Before the Show, which airs on Facebook every weekday. Watch this. And Leo will be directing. Always excited about Leo's directing skills. Hello, Leo.
Jason, I had my best game of curling last night.
Okay. Leo's not here again today. We don't know. Is he at home again?
He's at home watching curling videos.
He's at home watching curling videos and finishing his crosswords. What? I was out and about this weekend and talked to somebody who went curling. And I said, you're the second human being I've ever known that goes curling.
I was at the curling center this weekend. Wow.
I mean, does a pig make bacon? Exactly. Does a pig make bacon?
Well, technically the pig doesn't make bacon. You make bacon out of the pig.
Let's fire her, please, again. Just seriously, get the cutout. I can't, I'm sorry, Kendall, you're going to have to leave.
You're not
again.
actually getting the cutout.
Yeah, we're getting the cutout. You're going to have to leave. Get the cutout of the NASCAR driver who I don't know. Go ahead. There. What's his name again? Kyle Busch. There we go. It turns out, though, Leo is cooler than we all thought. I can't even say that without laughing. Especially today. How do we know? Because today, and this is not a lie, today is officially Curling is Cool Day. And here is Leo being cool at the Chaska Curling Center. Now, this important day is observed every year on February 23rd. Now, nearly 3 years ago, I got the wonderful opportunity to hit the ice with Leo for a day of curling in Chaska. Look.
Well, the very first thing you got to do is
practice. You know TV. Wait till he's rolling. Good Lord, Eric, are you hearing this? He starts talking and you don't even have the shot framed up.
Now listen, buddy. I already took my lesson. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm ready to go.
Whatever. Okay.
All right, let's practice. Turn sideways here a little bit. So put your left foot out.
Okay.
And just lean over and straighten out your right leg and keep your balance. Straighten out your leg more.
I am straightening it out.
Crouch down some more. Way down. That's the position.
Ow! This is not comfortable.
I told you it was going to be hard on your hamstrings. You should have stretched before you came here.
Yeah, okay.
If you see down at the end of the circle, you want to aim for about the outside red. First thing I realized is that I push off really weakly. If you want the stone to be on the left side, you can do...
Oh, this crap is very icy. Oh, once you get over 40, you feel your mortality.
Do you want to just slide on the ice?
No, I'm good. Stop it. You're making me nervous.
All right.
My God.
All right, I know that you're nervous because you took a tumble last time.
Yeah, I know. I did. I took a tumble, everybody. Oh. Hold my hand. Okay, right there. Am I good? I am romancing the stone.
Put your foot on the slippery thing.
Oh, Charlie horse. Oh, Charlie horse. Oh, Greg. No laughing, Greg. I got a Charlie horse. Can I just stay like this? Hello, lady. Stop staring at me. Why am I standing up? Don't I want to be sitting down?
Okay, yeah, you can crouch.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Woo! Greg, look!
We need a sweeper!
Greg, swiffer this!
Try it again.
What?
Double.
Whatever. Since we're speaking of directors, can I just tell you, Director Chris, who I don't often refer to.
Oh no, sorry,
Director Chris yesterday. So he ran a clip of my celebrity interviews. And we get done with that show, audience, and this is what Chris says in our headphones to the entire station. She goes, wow, we used to have really big celebrities on this show.
Used to.
Chris no longer works here, just FYI.
Just replaced by one of the Bush brothers.
That's right. Still ahead. When should you and when should you and when should you not get married in 2021? Psychic Maria Shaw joins us with her predictions and more when we come back. Back in a moment. Wow, we used to have really big guests on this show. It really went down the crapper lately. I remember when this show used to be so good. Just great guests. There may be some newly engaged couples watching the show right now thanks to Valentine's Day. And if you want to know how your love story will play out, our next guest will give you all the answers. Please welcome back to our show our good friend, it's been a while, Psychic Maria Shaw. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, how's everybody there?
Doing great. We miss you. We can't wait until you can come back. We always love your shows here because you go into the audience, and when we can do it again, I can't wait to welcome you back. But let's start with love. I had Maria on the radio show today, and you kind of stopped me in my tracks. Let's lead with that about when you should and should not get married this year. Take it away, Maria.
Well, a lot of people got engaged on Valentine's Day, and there's certain times astrologically that are no-nos to get married. And one of those times is when Venus goes retrograde. She doesn't go retrograde too often, but often enough to kind of screw up wedding plans. And if you're planning on doing a holiday wedding this year, I would rethink it. Venus is going to go retrograde the middle of December and stay retrograde through most of January of 2022. So late this year in 22, no holiday weddings. The other time that may be a little weird to have a wedding is during the Mercury retrograde, which is going to happen in late May and June. And I know there's a lot of June weddings, so if you're going to have a June wedding after the 23rd, it's going to be better. But all other times, pretty much all systems go. You can walk down that aisle. And by the way, Leos are going to be extra lucky in love this year. This is the year that our Leo friends, those born in late July, August, could find true love. They're working on the same page with their partner. And Jason, I know you're already in love, but you will have a great year.
Oh, perfect. Well, let's talk to our single friends like Ted. What signs are good for love this year, Maria?
Well, definitely, like I said, the Leo folks. Sagittarius are going to do pretty good. We're also going to find that some of the Cancers, especially in the summertime, will have a lot of happiness. But what was Ted's birthday again? I'm trying to remember.
Ted, he's a Sagittarius.
Oh, good. So he's got another option this year. We have 2 eclipses this year that could help him latch on to somebody that he actually likes. Because I know he's real picky. I mean, I know I talked to him before, and I mean, if somebody has an ugly shoe or I make wrong, So, but he's got good aspects the middle of May and June to meet someone because of these eclipses, and then also if that doesn't work, November, December is also very good for him.
Okay, so now let's move from love to just general. What are we looking at? We're looking forward to spring, Maria. What are you seeing sign-wise and for the rest of this year in a general sense?
I think it's going to be an easier year than last year, although January was not. January was the worst month astrologically because of some of the planetary alignments that we'll see all year. November is a little bit touchy too, but March, next month, is going to be a great month. We don't have hardly any planets retrograde. The 1st through the 4th of March is good for new starts. If you want to start a business, if you want to put a house on the market, if you want to buy a home, if you want to put out a resume, if you want to start a new relationship, March is going to be an excellent time to do that. Now, once we get into the middle of May, like around the 13th of May through July 28th, we have a very special astrological configuration. It's called Jupiter, and Jupiter moving into Pisces. And this is going to be very lucky for all of us, but especially for Pisces folks. And what will happen is you will get a preview of all the luck that you may receive in 2022 between late May, June, and July. So pay attention, everybody, what's going on in your life. What are you talking about? What are you feeling? What's happening in your life? Because that's a preview of the luck that you'll get in the following year. As we move into the summer, it should be a pretty nice summer. A lot of the restrictions will start to evaporate that we're experiencing now with the COVID. And I think people are going to get out a lot more and travel. So I'm predicting the travel industry, especially within the state, will also go up as well. And I also feel that it's going to be a very lucky year for Libras to gamble, for new romance. And if you're Libra hoping to have a child, this is a great year to do that. But Libras are going to be the fun sign this year. They had a couple tough years, and now they're going to feel like things are really, you know, they got their mojo back.
We have about a minute left. You have popped up on one of our favorite shows, 90 Day Fiancé. How did this happen?
Well, I did a reading for a client about 4 years ago in Michigan at one of our psychic fairs, and she was dating a guy from Belize, and I didn't like him, but I told her she ought to be on 90 Day Fiancé. She never watched the show. So then eventually I kept doing readings for her, and I said, "Are you on the show yet?" Well, there's Stephanie right there, fan favorite. And she got on the show she auditioned, got on the show, and then the producers heard how she got on the show and called me and wanted me to be part of the show. So here I am. I'm on several times this season.
I love it. And Maria, you're at the Radisson Blu again this weekend, right, my friend?
Yes, big psychic fun fair, Radisson Blu, Mall of America, 9 to 5. Come on out. Everybody's invited.
That's right. Thank you, Maria. I can't wait to see you again in person.
Me too. Thank you, Jason.
Catch Maria this weekend, as she said, at the Radisson Blu at the Mall of America. $10 to enter and $20 readings. And head to mariashaw.com for more information. We're going to take a break, everybody. We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back to the show, my friends. We always like you watching, but if you would like to be a part of the show, you can do it. Sign up to be a part of our Jason Show virtual audience. Go to the Jason Show Facebook page to search Jason Shows TV and click on the link at the top of the page. Sign up for a certain day, and you'll be a part of the show, okay? You ready for the bubblegum goodbye question?
Mm-hmm.
Just say yes.
Yes.
What do you consider the ultimate junk food? We will answer that question when we return. Back in a moment. The most productive day of the week. Welcome back to Tuesday. Our bubblegum goodbye question. What do you consider the ultimate junk food? Kendall.
Okay, I really love Cheetos. That's gotta be one. But the other one, if I'm like really, it like makes my gut hurt, but it's so good. The State Fair has those deep fried cookie dough balls.
Yeah.
Those are so good. And Red Wing Confectionery makes chocolate covered toffees with sea salts.
You are really going deep. You are really getting
I
very
really
specific.
thought about this. And Bebezito ice cream.
Okay.
Favorite. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, please. Mine is very simple. Chips and dip.
Oh.
I could eat, and I'm talking either like a French onion dip and potato chips, but they
so
need to be
good.
ridged.
Yes.
I like a ridged chip,
Mm-hmm.
or any type of tortilla chip
With salsa
and
and
salsa.
cheese.
I could eat a whole bag. Like there's nothing better than the combination of chips and salsa, like at your favorite Mexican restaurant. I could just eat all of that.
Or like
that could be the
queso
meal.
and chips.
Anything.
It's
like
so
just
true.
Yeah.
It's very Minnesotan to be like, I like dips.
And nachos, you know, you guys are saying it with me. layer that crap. Don't give me stuff on the top and then the rest of it is barren, like the desert. I need it layered. Put cheese nachos, fixins nachos.
Dave & Buster's, great nachos.
Serums, great nachos.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, not just for chicken wings, but I'm just telling you, don't layer that hashtag, layer that crap. Tomorrow on the show, Heather and Brad Fox will join us again to talk about the insane housing markets and some interior design trends. Their store, by the way, fabulous. That's going to do it for us today. If you are watching and you are a kid that is being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow.